I may regret this big time, like big, huge time, but I'm about to give huge, like advice for submarines. What I think the submarine is amazing, and I mean, I think this bloody thing is not busted, but it's a little bit crazy from my point of view. Okay, let me give you a little bit of feedback on this. You may ask, Foxhound, why don't you use submarines? Very simple. Yes, we all know the story. Submarines can kill almost everything there underneath the ship. But how many times, if you have a submarine, or how many times you have seen a video that a submarine is left alone, is by itself, and yes, good, you sank a ship, but did you win a match? No. So that doesn't make it consistent. That doesn't make it consistent, and that's a huge problem. And that's why I don't use submarines as much. Maybe up to now. So let me tell you my thoughts about it. First of all, why I think this submarine is busted and what's the strategy behind it. Well, first of all, when I wanted to do a tips and tricks on submarines, I had a huge problem going on. Yeah, submarines can be either this type of submarines that can spam torpedoes. Yeah, so all on torpedo spammer, or you have submarines that focus on ASBL. What's the problem? With torpedo spammers, if you don't get close enough and you don't kill targets quick, doesn't matter if you kill anything. At the end of the day, your allies will die and you will be left alone. And if you use ASLBM, like full on ASBM, the problem is that if you are far away on the extreme of the map and targeting one or two ships like the carrier and a battle cruiser, yes, you can be very successful if this is a big if, you manage to kill them quickly. But if you have a skilled ACV player or a skilled battleship person that is able to survive these SLBMs, then you are not going to win. Yeah? But what if we have something in between? Something in between that allows you to, first of all, with the SLBMs, get close to the targets so the missiles that will launch, the nuclear missiles, land quickly. Yeah, because you are closer to the target, you will be able to target ships faster and your rate of hitting them is going to increase, right? And what about if you have, first of all, something crazy about this thing? This submarine is like the Fletcher of submarines. 3 torpedo slots, yeah, on only one slot. That's insane. Why is it insane? If you pair it with a torpedo like this that has 3 rounds per attack, all of a sudden you're launching 9 torpedoes in one slot. So that makes it even stronger than all these other submarines that require like multiple torpedoes in multiple slots. It makes it easier with one hit of a button, and that is pretty much the whole thing. But why do I think this thing is bloody busted? Bloody busted as something that I have not considered up to this point. This bloody missile. Okay, this missile. And I hope I hope people, I mean, I am a small channel, so possibly good submarine players or most of the community is not going to hear this advice, because if not, it's going to be busted. This missile, what it does, you can launch it underwater and you can hit air targets. So what does this mean, Foxhound? What do you mean? This missile neglects an ACV player because pretty much you are helping your team on taking down aircrafts. That is insane. But what's the second most busted thing? I want you to please pay attention to this. We are getting a free-to-play. Let me see, I'm putting it up here. We are getting a free-to-play helicopter. It can take out pretty much torpedoes. It can take out submarines, yes, and other things. And we got a new legendary item, a new helicopter that pro players are using all the time. Let's go to equipment. If I go to helicopters, we got this busted thing, yeah, that is able to pretty much melt down like melt down submarines. Yeah. So what is the answer to that? This bloody missile. So with this, you are able to neglect or pretty much let like ACB players will not be able to do much because you are underwater hitting their planes. But most importantly, if you get close to an ACB or any type of ship with a busted helicopter that is destroying your torpedoes, the key is to use this missile to take out the helicopters first. Now you are busted. Now you are just freaking busted. Okay? That is what I found to be extremely, extremely, extremely useful and successful. Uh, you may ask, Foxhound, I mean, in your channel, most of the time you play ACVs or battleships or maybe a cruiser. Let me tell you the truth. When I put a video out there, it may sound repetitive what I put out there. Yeah? But it is repetitive or I used it for one reason. Yes, it is important to be entertaining and everything. But there is one reason for that. I post these things because I put what I believe it's a ship or a build that is consistent on ranked. Yeah? It's not a build that is meant to be fun. Well, sometimes they can be fun. But fun is not the priority. What's the priority? To win matches. To rank up. Yeah, so that's the objective. So that's why, I mean, at some point I was considering being a main sub. Back on the day, I was using my Salt on Taijay, and it was extremely good. But that will take you only to Platinum 3, and then afterwards, you will not have consistency. That's why I don't use submarines. But now, with this thing, I believe, based on recent matches that I had, that this may have a good chance to be a very competitive submarine if you use the tactic correctly. This bloody missile over here and having a torpedo that uses 3 rounds per attack. This is the single game changer torpedo for this build. Okay, and you have a good SLBM that reloads fairly quickly and is able to hit targets faster because you are not aiming to be far away from the map. Actually, you are getting close. You are getting close and you are giving your targets a very difficult time. If they get close, you are going to use your torpedoes and they are done. If they get far, well, now they are going to face the wrath of your SLBM. Okay? So that is it for now. Let me see how long this video is. Maybe I will consider in the future or right now doing a video on this, on gameplay on this, possibly with comments. And well, again, as I mentioned, I really hope, I mean, for my subscribers, for people that see me regularly, I think it's going to help you a lot. Because even as a free-to-play player, right? As a free-to-play player, and EDAS and RSVM and this freaking torpedo in the market, well, possibly it's going to be around 4K. Yeah, 4K on the market. Let's see. The torpedo is going to be 1,000, around 1,000. The missile, it's going to be, let's see, 300. Yeah. And what about the SLBM? 2,000. So we're talking about a build of around 4,000 to 5,000 art coins. And you don't even have to, you are not even mandated to use the torpedo one because you have a free one that is available on ranked as well. Yeah, on ranked. When you go to the rank, you go to equipment, there you go. You have this torpedo over here. Yeah. So that is something that you can consider using. Okay. So even for free to play players, this is something you can consider using and doing very well. I mean, we have to wait for ranked to come back again. I may even consider putting some matches on ranked to test if he can keep up. But I truly think it does because I played a couple of matches and he was giving win after win after win after win. So it is consistent. It is freaking consistent. Yeah. So that's why I'm coming and I'm telling you, like, keep an eye on this. If you don't use a submarine build, well then be aware, because if you have someone that actually takes the time to make a proper build that is competitive, then you need to be aware there's going to be a bloody submarine that is taking out your planes, or there's going to be this submarine that's going to get close to you and is going to pretty much try to SLBA you. And you are not going to fully rely on your helicopters and go, Rambo, my helicopters are going to take me down, because now you are using this busted missile over here. Okay? So I think that solves a problem for submarine players. I hope people don't see this. Really hope, uh, because if this build it's everywhere, it's going to pretty much make the life very difficult to a lot of people. Okay, that's it for me today. I hope that you have an amazing day. This is Foxhound signing off.